Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni is an award-winning writer, activist, professor of creative writing at University of Houston, and the author of 21 books such as Mistress of Spices, Sister of My Heart, Palace of Illusions, The Forest of Enchantments, and The Last Queen. Her newest novel, Independence, depicts the lives of three sisters during India's freedom struggle. May I have a pleased round of applause for Chitra Banerjee. May I now invite on stage to kindly do the book unveiling.
There's going to be a wonderful discussion about the book with the artist and some very well-informed art people. I will only say this is an amazing book, and everyone should take a look at it. It throws an unusual and unique light on Seema Kohli's work. Thank you all.
To introduce the rest of the panel, we have Seema Kohli, is an experimental multidisciplinary artist who has over 36 solo shows and over 300 group shows in India and international. She explores the feminine through the ideas of beauty, sensuality, and spirituality expressed in her works. They are based on the concept of Hiranyagarbha, or the golden womb from which we have emerged. May I have a big round of applause for Seema Kohli, ma'am. Next, I'd like to invite on stage Dipanjali Deka, who works at the Archive and Research Center of Ethnomusicology, American Institute of Indian Studies. Can we have a big round of applause for Dipanjali? I'd like to invite on stage Puneeta Roy, who's a media professional and energy healer who's passionate about integrating young people from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds and channeling their energies to work on issues of social justice. Let's have a big round of applause. I'm sure the energy is still awake and alive in this lovely venue. And lastly, I'd like to invite Charty Dugdale, who's the founder of Outreach India, working with artists to transform their lives of children and women from marginalized communities. Can we have a big round of applause again? Thank you.
Hello? Okay, I know we're towards the end of this day, and we've had a long day. We're all a bit tired. But thank you so much for being here and help us celebrate an amazingly prolific artist. You want to move the book? Okay. Seema Kohli. Yeah, we need to just be able to see each other better. So Seema, just tap on the top, right on top. Can we have mic number 4 on?
Hello.
Yeah, it's on, yeah. So welcome to this distinguished panel that I have here.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you. JLF, it's been really an honor to be here.
Thank you. Seema, I have known you for, I don't know. Oh, okay. Sorry, this is a technical switch, okay. Okay, I have to repeat that. Welcome everyone to this session. A Restless Line in the Art of Seema Kohli. So Seema, restlessness, absolutely. But I want to go back to when I met you. I know that was 30 years ago or before that.
Yes, it was a different life.
A different life. And it resonated a lot with what I read about your childhood of being an awkward, introverted child who would hide when visitors came home. And frequently you would sort of just disappear into your imagination. And through that connect with different universes, which found expression in your art, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So Seema, today it's prolific, your art and, your outpouring of creative energy. I know this is sounding a bit simplistic, but the process that you have gone through personally, because you were always a good painter, I remember seeing that, but the layers that today your paintings have, they seem to be, it's like your own growth, your own journey, layer upon layer, the myth, the mystic, it's magical. Would you like to share a little bit of this?
Awkward I am still. Maybe not so. I love to meet people. It's not that I'm introverted now as much as probably, because when we are in our studio space, that is a very introspective time, and that is a very meditative time. And people think it's a lonely path, but it is really a path where we are with, an artist is with themselves. And it has been, actually I never realized that it was a difficult path for me, because I've always been self-absorbed, I think very, very much inside my own little world and trying to take a grasp of it, more like a seeker. And it has been nice to get an expression to my layers in my works, so that is not a completion, but that is a journey. It is every moment, and restlessness, there is, I think I am very restless. I sort of get to one point and I probably experiment with a medium. Then I want to move ahead. I want to take that medium forward. And that has been more of a joy, I think. And it's really amazing to get a, sharing bit of it later once that is made. But it has been, I think, a very exciting journey, I must say, for me.
So, it's almost like a paradox. At one level, it's restlessness. At another, as you have been growing and going on your own journey, there's been a sense of surrender also to a flow.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm sure you're not, when you start, you don't know what the final work is going to be. Does it surprise you when it evolves?
Yeah, because I really don't know where to stop. Mostly it is that I have to just ask, well, do I stop here?
Otherwise you go endlessly.
Because it can go on for a long period, and there are times when the works have come back to me after a show, or or I've seen it after maybe 6 months or maybe 2 years, and I've still wanted to work on that. And I just pull it up and I say, no, this needs to be corrected. This needs to have more images. This needs to have more story. But that's the fun of it, I guess.
I can see your eyes shining.
And it is a paradox, because both the things happen at the same time. The surrender and also the fact that
you're questioning all the time.
You're constantly questioning, and I find myself answering to the images most of the time. There is a constant struggle, that conversation with my image and me that becomes so alive that it sometimes comes out as poetry, sometimes as some other image. Yeah.
I'm just going to come to that. There's so much that we can ask Seema to talk about. But because of the paucity of time, I'm going to actually just dip into her co-authors. Charty, Seema was just speaking about getting into poetry, etc. Her creative energy and the outpourings have been so prolific. that it's been expressed in different forms: sculpture, film, poetry, installations, performances. You have had, I mean, I would say, the opportunity, the good luck to be present at 2 or 3 of them. In fact, she says, my body is my workshop. I'd like you to share some of what you experienced and have observed, knowing her over the years.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, it's coming. So I've been lucky to travel with Seema a couple of times.
Can you hear Charty?
Yeah, I've been lucky.
Yeah.
I've been lucky. I've had the joy of traveling with Seema a couple of times, and I remember about 10 years ago, it must have been, we were rattling around in a 4 of us rattling around in a car in Chhattisgarh and Orissa, visiting yogini temples and various other...
And you were part of the band of yoginis?
Part of the band of yoginis. Various other beautiful deserted archaeological sites. It was scorching heat. It was May or something. Anyway, we were quite an eccentric foursome. And one day we visited this village called Thala in Bilaspur, near Bilaspur. And there's a couple of famous temples there. And there's this extraordinary sculpture known as Rudra Shiva. And he's about 2 meters tall, and he's made up of, he has these animals as parts of his body. So he had a crab for a chin, and he had tiger knees and sort of fishy moustache. And he was found, I think, face down in front of one of the temples, and then they popped him in his own niche, and they put bars in front of him. And Seema saw him, and she just kind of clicked into a zone, and she
started dancing.
She didn't start dancing. She went to find the caretaker to unlock his cage so she could be close to him. She found a pail, and she found a water source, and she went and filled up her pail, and she came and she threw water over him, and she went back, and she was chanting mantras the whole time, backwards and forwards till all of him was covered, and then she just stood in front of him in this sort of reverential pose, and it was quite mesmerizing to watch, and I think that this is the way her performances happen. So
it's totally spontaneous.
The filmed ones. This was not filmed. This was just for us. But the filmed ones, she goes to.
There's one in Varanasi.
There was one in Varanasi on the other side of the river of the Ganga, and she just responds to the energies there. So it's and then these are filmed, and then they're put together and shown as video installations in the gallery space. Yeah.
Wow. And what does it leave you with, the sense when you're watching that?
Oh, it's just I mean, it's you have a sense of the kind of energy moving through her. I think when she's painting, she perceives this feminine energy everywhere, all around her all the time. She's sitting there, but there's probably a yogini hovering somewhere over her shoulder, and Kali's probably not far away. So she perceives this energy everywhere, and that's why her canvases are full of the female figure, but also in nature, in the natural world, also in man-made objects. I mean, everywhere, and she and that's what she paints. That's why her canvases are full of this. All these elements coalesce in her canvases. But when it comes to performance, it's her body that becomes the medium for the expression of all of this, and it's very powerful. It's very powerful to witness. It's very powerful to see. In the gallery space as well,
I guess it's very immersive also.
It's very immersive, And the performance on the Ganga was extraordinary. It finished with, there was a funeral pyre, and she would broke these clay pots, and you know, we were all just watching.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, the main theme in most of Seema's work is the divine feminine. And it's from the tantric practice.
Yes.
But there is always the male. For you, it's the male-female energy in balance, right?
In balance, but what rules is the feminine?
What rules
You
is the
know.
feminine, of
Yeah.
course, yes. Deepa, I want to come to you here. You have a chapter in the book with a wonderful title with the wonder and the madness, you know, the sheer magnitude of what Seema tries to cover. And there's that little thing which she says when she puts her work down and looks at it and says, no, it's too much. I must be mad, which is something that, you know, you
Yes.
observed.
Yes.
So I want you to tell us a little more about this wonder and madness.
Yeah, I think that was just the first thing that was evoked in me when I first saw her work. I mean, a few years back. And I think in this chapter, or, you know, I wanted to capture that in this part of the chapter. And in fact, even following from what Charty was saying, that she sees the divine feminine and she sees the continuity and cyclicality of life, death, and life everywhere is so evident. I remember one incident when we were talking, and you were saying that, you know, Dipanjali, even when we are walking, when one thigh brushes against the other and vice versa, you know, there is something happening. There is life and there is death. There is life and there is death again and again. You know, that's wonderful. And the wonder that was there in her eyes at that moment, I think that is something that really caught on. And what I feel is that because she is very clear that when she is painting herself, she is not at all thinking about the viewer or the audience, or, you know, she is immersed, like she said. But what happens as a viewer, I think, is this void, this cosmic space, this space of ultimate reality where she is drawing her themes from, the themes of Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb, the divine feminine, Kali. I mean, how do you express something that is inexpressible in its essence, that is unfathomable, it cannot articulate it? So what then happens on the canvas is remarkable. And I think she does it on her part, and she does it on her canvas, and the canvas is out there. And when we then, you know, view your art, what happens is we sort of get a glimpse and a hint of that space where you're drawing your energies from. And for a moment, there is this liminal space where we are connected. And I think that's the evocation of the rasa. The rasa of the wonder, the adbhuta, or the vismad, however you call it. And I think that's what I was trying to capture in.
Seema, you want to add anything to that? Because I have a lovely line I'm going to end with. I know we have to wrap up, but
Yeah.
I'm giving it back to you for.
Well, madness it is, you know. I feel there has to be a certain sense of immersiveness that disconnects you to the outer space, that whatever space that you are, and world is too big a space, you know, even your outer space that you are in, if you're immersed, that of course there is a certain sense of a disconnect, and that's what is madness. And I totally agree with that. And yeah, I just want to continue feeling the awe of the feminine and feeling the dance of life around me. There's so much happening here, and I can see her in so many forms, and it's so beautiful. It's always, that is the wonder for me. When I'm looking at the trees, the people, maybe the tent, even that is alive, very much alive. And that's, I want to just feel it.
You know, listening to you and knowing more about you, seems that you dip deeper and deeper into your inward consciousness, and that, in a way, manifests your outward.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, I guess.
isn't it?
I have
It's that
very few
rich inner
words.
world. Yeah.
I have more images than words.
So I would just want to end with this beautiful sentence that in one of your chapters, I think Annapurna has said, Seema is deeply interested in how re-enchantment can remake the world, and how her art can contribute to the experience of connection, awe, and transcendence. I thought it was a beautiful sentence.
That's a beautiful sentence.
Isn't it?
And
it really captures your work.
Yeah, and Annapurna has done the introduction of the book where she is sort of bringing together the whole book, which is very beautifully done.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry we've had such short time, but maybe I think as co-authors, I'm going to ask each one of you to also hold up these
Very heavy
book.
books.
Oh. Let's all of us just hold up the book, and if you're an art lover, you have to buy this book. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.